Good afternoon, you guys. I hope you're having a good midweek Wednesday. Today I'll be showing you how to use your leftover rice to make this very yummy and very delicious and so easy vegetable fritters. Usually I make these fritters without rice, but now and again I do use rice to bulk my fritters up, especially if I have leftover rice. It gives me a good excuse to use up my rice, a creative way to eat rice, and also a creative way to use up my veggies in the fridge.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above. Okay, that's it, guys. That is my tofu scramble.
Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above. Always all about the seasoning. So let's get into this recipe. First, you'll need your bowl of rice, obviously, because this is for leftover rice, and then your vegetables. I had some carrots and some zucchini that I'm throwing in, and I also had some cabbage that was wilting. Then your aromatics, which are your onion, garlic, ginger and chilies, and my green pepper as well. And then lastly, our spices, not too complicated, just salt, black pepper, cumin, and some sweet paprika. If you want, you can also add in mixed herbs. The spices are really up to you, as well as the vegetables, because the idea is for you to use up whatever vegetables you like or are wilting in the fridge. They can definitely work. Even spinach would work here, celery, whatever's your favorite. Next are some potatoes. I mashed up my potatoes, then I added in some spices. The potatoes were obviously already steamed. You can boil them as well, just as long as they're soft, because then it makes our fritters to be easy to cook and we don't have to cook them for too long, because all we'll be doing is cooking the flour that we'll be putting in, or eggs if you're using eggs, and just making them crisp up on the outside. Next, we're going to add in our aromatics to our mashed potato. We're just mashing this to get the flavors out. Alternatively, you could also cook your aromatics separately with your spices to really bring out the oils and the flavor of the spices and aromatics in the pan, and caramelize your onions. I think that'll add a depth of flavor to your dish, but I just wanted to show you the very simple way where we add everything into a bowl and then pan fry that in the end. Then I'll be adding in all my vegetables, including the peppers, the cabbage. I'm adding it in increments because then it's easier to mix in. And then I'll be adding in my zucchini and my shredded carrots, or rather grated carrots, so long as they're small enough to cook through. The idea here is that you want to ensure that your vegetables are shredded or are just in very small pieces so that they can cook much easier. You know how it works. And then lastly, we're going to add in our rice. It's also cooked plain white rice. If you have fried rice, that would work as well, like a tomato fried rice or something simple. It doesn't really matter. The idea, again, I'm using the idea a lot, but the point here, there we go, is that we're just using leftover rice. So if your leftover rice has mixed veg, you can make that work as well, just so long as you're using up your rice and you don't let it go to waste, or you don't get too bored with your rice and you're forced to eat it. Okay, now we're going to make our binding agent. Now, because I don't eat eggs, I will be making a simple batter using baking powder, flour and soya milk. If you eat eggs, that would be and would work as a great binding agent as well, and you can add those in to your flour and milk and baking powder batter. I could have just said to your batter. So I just added in half a cup of flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder and some soya milk. And like I said, if you eat eggs, you could also add 1 or 2 eggs in here. Depends how eggy you want your fritters to be. I generally, when I did eat eggs, I didn't really like the eggy flavor that would remain when people would use like a whole bunch of eggs, especially as their main and primary binding agent without really making a batter first. I think the eggy flavor was just too eggy for me, and it was giving breakfast vibes. But it's up to you, so long as it makes you happy. Moving on swiftly, I am going to be adding in my batter into the rest of my ingredients, my one bowl. The reason why this batter is also important, even if you do use eggs, I do still suggest that you use flour and baking powder, because the baking powder helps to make your fritters a bit more fluffier. So please, I'm not saying if you use eggs then only use eggs. I think that you should just add the eggs to the batter. So the eggs, although are also a great binding agent, they should act as an additional ingredient, not a standalone ingredient. Anyways, I then later found some sweet corn in the fridge that I knew no one was going to use. Just also to reiterate that you can throw in whatever vegetables that you want, whatever vegetables you find in the fridge that need to be used up. These are great for that. And I added that in, incorporated my batter well, my fritter mixture, and then I made some little balls that I ended up realizing were unnecessary because I can just do it on the pan. Honestly, I don't know how I was doing this. But it's fine. Don't follow me doing this. It's just I did it and life goes on. And then you're gonna add in a little bit of oil. I'm using a non-stick pan, but adding in oil is just to be safe, you know. And then I added in my little balls that were very unnecessary to divide. I thought I was doing something here, like saving time or something, but I was really just wasting my energy. I added in the balls onto the pan, and then I flattened them out to make them more fritter-like and to cook through and to cook quicker as well. And then you cook the fritters for about 3 minutes on each side. Ensure that your heat is not too high. Mine was on medium low so that it could cook, because we did put in a batter in there, and our vegetables were not all cooked. In fact, none of them were cooked. They all needed to be cooked. So you have to ensure you do cook them for a while so that you don't get too much of a bite, please. Anyway, you cook them on 3 minutes on each side, as I was saying, and then you take them off and you just repeat the process until all your batter has been used up. Everybody, this recipe is so easy, guys, and it's such a creative way to use up your rice, throw in some vegetables, make it a bit more nutritionally dense, and to just be a bit more creative as well with your spices. You can mix in some fresh herbs, some dry herbs, whatever it is that you fancy. And I served mine with some tomato sauce, just normal all gold tomato sauce that I topped with some habanero sauce that we make at home, homemade, you know, because I like things spicy. But you can serve it with whatever sauce that you prefer. A yogurt dill dressing would be nice, you know. A honey mustard sauce would also be nice, obviously also depending on what kind of spices you put in there. But really, even a spicy mayo or sriracha mayo or just garlic mayo, just something, you know. Otherwise, you don't have to have it with the condiments. You can eat them on their own. They're also equally as delicious. You can serve these in a wrap, enjoy them with a side of rice. Again, eat them on their own as a snack, a high protein snack, or throw them on top of a salad if you like. Please let me know in the comment section below if you'll be trying this recipe. Have you tried a recipe similar? And as always, thank you so much for watching and supporting. Please like, subscribe, and comment.